Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create this smooth zoom out warp transition inside of After Effects. So the first thing we want to do is go over to our effects and presets and just search up warp. Now this is just a built-in plugin, and you will not need any plugins for this transition, which is very nice. What we're going to do with this warp is go into our warp style and make it fisheye and make our bend 0. And now we want to go to around the middle of our clip here, so right there, and just hit a keyframe, and then scroll ahead in your timeline to the end of that clip, and then make it -100. Now if you hit U on your keyboard, it'll bring up these keyframes, and you just want to easy ease them by selecting them and hitting F9 on your keyboard. And then after you have them easy ease, you just want to select them, go into your graph editor, and you want to make the graph look something similar to this, but you can obviously experiment with it, change it how you want it to be. You can make this stronger by lowering it so you get more of that warp in there, or you can bring this one up so it like pinches in first and then warps out. So all up to you guys, but I'm gonna keep it looking something like this, maybe a little bit further out. There we go. So you can see the warp is being applied to this first clip right here. Now I just need it to warp out on the second one. So we're going to bring on optics compensation. I think that's how you say it. But basically what we're going to do with this is sort of the same thing, but it's a bit different than the other warp ones. So what we're going to do is reverse the lens distortion and make our field of view around like 150. I think 150 usually works the best. So I'm just going to stick with that. Make sure you keyframe it on your first frame of the clip there, and then go around to the middle of that clip again and bring it back down to 0. And then hit U on your keyboard, go into the keyframes, easy ease them, F9 on your keyboard, and then go into your graph editor. And inside the graph editor, we want to make a graph looking something similar to the other one, but kind of like opposite. So it's like speed ramping downward. So when I play this back, we can see the effect that we're getting here is a nice smooth warp out here, but we don't really have the zooming out. It's kind of just the warp effect happening, which, I mean, it's still cool, but I think it could look a lot smoother with the zoom out. So what we're going to do is pre-compose this one right here, because if we don't pre-compose it, you'll actually get some like weird, I don't know, black lines when you try adding this motion tile to it. So just make sure you go ahead and pre-compose your clip before you do the zoom out. So let's just apply our motion tile to this clip, make the width 300, height 300, and make our mirror edges enabled. So now when we keyframe our zoom out, it should be mirrored on both sides. So what we want to do is go into our scale properties by hitting S on our keyboard and just keyframe this. So select a keyframe at the middle, and then at the end, you want to do like, let's see here, not too crazy, but maybe like 56, 55 looks good. And then you just want to easy ease these once again, and then create the graph to look something like you did for the warp. Another cool effect that you can kind of do at this scale in or the zoom out is you can have it scale in at the start. So if you bring this little like point right here and just drag it up, you can see if you play it back, it pushes in and then scales out. So it's kind of cool, but it's a little too strong here. So I'm going to ease it in just a tiny bit. There we go. That looks pretty smooth. So now we're just going to do that same thing, but on the second clip here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pre-compose this second clip here once again. So right click and pre-compose, and just trim that down to where you need that clip to start. And we're just going to add our motion tile, or actually what we could do is just duplicate this, hit Control C, Control V, and now we have it just copied onto our second clip here. And we're just going to go into our scale by hitting S, make this like 55, keyframe that, then go to the middle of your clip and bring it all the way back to 100. And we just want to keyframe or easy ease the keyframes and just edit this graph to look something like this. All right, so when I play that back, it looks a little weird. I realized that 55 is a bit too strong. Let's do like 80 maybe. I don't need it to be crazy. Like, I don't know. You just kind of have to mess with it, to be honest. So yeah, that's basically it for this effect and the video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to drop a like, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.